Welcome to Prima Solutions Insurance Business Component Suite, otherwise known as IBCS. Over the next few minutes, we will show you an innovative way to jumpstart your next insurance initiative. Whether you need to extend your legacy system or implement a new product or service, we believe the key to your success is Prima IBCS. So let's discuss how Prima IBCS can help you with your two major challenges: the lack of a common data model or data semantic across your enterprise and your time to market. As with most insurance organizations, you will have many systems managing your customer, contracts and claim information. These systems were probably developed by various teams over the years, inherited through acquisitions or purchased from different vendors. The result means many different formats and redundant activities required for manipulating this information. To be competitive in today's market, you need to be able to enhance your existing systems and quickly develop new applications, while at the same time being able to integrate these changes into your existing environment using the same standard vocabulary and approach shared by the industry. IT organizations tend to develop data models that fit a specific project's needs and may not necessarily support the enterprise architecture. As the number of projects increases, the IT organization is faced with a patchwork of disparate data models that has proven to be very costly and risks compatibility across systems. These data-related activities extend the project lifecycle from analysis through testing, uses excess hardware storage, and complicates your disaster recovery operations. The concept of a common data model for business services that can be used across all environments and applications will provide the interoperability, agility, and reusability necessary for sustaining corporate growth. So, what is Prima IBCS, and how can it help jumpstart your next insurance initiative? Prima IBCS is a tool comprised of a conceptual UML data model, productivity tools, and a code generator. The conceptual UML data model was built specifically for the insurance industry, describing the data required for typical business activities such as processing quotes, issues, claims, marketing, and finance. The productivity tools include a mapping editor for views and tables, model validation tools, navigation tools, and an import-export utility for making mass changes quickly. The code generator generates Java code and Hibernate mapping files from the model. What is important to know is that the Prima IBCS data model is adaptable for all lines in the insurance industry: life, health, P&C, personal, or commercial lines. Prima IBCS is organized in two models: a business concepts model, including 12 business concept-related domains, and a business management model, including 9 business process-related domains. Each domain includes documented classes and business service definitions. Let's focus briefly on 3 core insurance business concept domains: product, PDT, contract, CTR, and claims, CLA. The product domain, or PDT, is focused on the design and pricing of insurance products. The contract domain, CTR, details the business design of an active contract or policy. The claims domain, CLA, defines how the claim can be attached to a contract or policy for elements related to the notification of loss, the opening of a claim, the investigation and assessment of the claim, as well as the coverage and recovery processing. So you can see that by using Prima IBCS, you will have a business reference model specific to your organization for use in new application development. In addition, the data dictionary generated will provide for the exchange of information between applications, limiting the development of transformation modules necessary between applications. As mentioned previously, Prima IBCS consists of 2 models: a business concept model and a business management model. The business concept model is composed of 12 concept-related domains, and the business management model of 9 management-related domains, as shown here in the welcome page. On the left side of the screen, you can see that the Prima IBCS organization structure is in a project style. Each element within the model is documented in either pop-up style or viewable through the Documentation tab. Each domain has its own set of packages and diagrams such as subdomain, relation, dependency, and class diagrams. Further, each subdomain has its own set of relations, services, and class diagrams. For an example, let's look at the contract dependencies diagram. Here, you can see that the CTR domain, contracts, needs information from the CTC domain, contacts, and is used by the CLA domain, claims. If we wish to see more detail, we just double-click on the subdomain. Now you can see the contract presentation class diagram and its relationships and attributes. The diagrams stay open in separate tabs, making it easy to navigate back and forth as needed. If you click on the commentary, you can see a complete view of the domain's composition. Returning our attention to the left side of the screen, we can see that the contract subdomain has associated services. In addition, the View folder contains the data elements required for each service. Prima IBCS is truly a robust and comprehensive reference model. This model is only one part of Prima IBCS. In the next demo, we will show you how the navigation, validation, mapping, and generation tools can take your model to the next level. Welcome to the Navigating Tools demo. Prima IBCS navigating tools are conceived to search elements in the model and to navigate through the model easily. The search tool, Model Search, is a graphical view associated to a powerful search engine that allows you to navigate in your model in a very simple way. Suppose you want to search the term coverage in the model. You can see graphically how the term coverage is related to the rest of the model and where you can find it. If you click on an element, you see its documentation, and you can choose to see its specification and its location in the containment tree. You can also see a text display of the results. The navigation tool Model Rider is a graphical navigation component. You select a class as a starting point, and Model Rider displays all of its associated classes. You can then freely navigate through these classes. This sort of navigation can be extremely useful for large models such as IBCS. Model Rider allows you to easily find a path from one class to another and visualize the structure of the model from your point of view, showing the classes and associations that interest you. Suppose you want to see the path between person and email. You can start by searching person and double-click on the Inherited Association Contact portfolio and see Contact inherited classes. Email is one of these classes. The navigated path is displayed on the left, and a UML view of the relation between the selected class and the node is displayed on the right side of the screen. Welcome to the Validation Tool demo. The Validation Tool is a very powerful plugin. When executed, it browses the entire IBCS model, checking the elements against the rules that have been enabled, and identifies the elements that do not comply with the rules. We can see the specific rules being validated by clicking on the Preferences icon in the validation window. Note that the rules can be set for ignore, warn, or error. Let's see this in action. According to the rules, if we change company name to not have an attribute type, then a warning should occur. When we fix a warning, in this case assigning an attribute type, the warning message goes away. By using validation rules, you can ensure the quality and consistency of your UML model. Welcome to the Mapping Tools demo. Prima IBCS mapping tools are conceived to handle the mapping of views and tables. Views are created to define the transfer of data between the model and other systems such as back-end applications, rating, or rules engines. On the other hand, tables are created as part of Prima IBCS persistence tooling. Tables contain all the data needed for the generation of Hibernate mapping files. View mapping is very useful, for example, when you need to create a project model from the Prima IBCS reference model. Suppose you want to create a project model that includes the classes person, telephone, and email from the reference model. Let's create views for these classes. We can choose additional elements to map, such as associations, attributes, and classes in the inheritance hierarchy. We can also select the location of the views and organize them as we like. Here is a preview of the views that will be created and their organization in the model. Here is a preview of the associations that will be created. The elements are mapped, and important relations and classes are automatically mapped to keep the model consistent with the reference model. Later, if the project changes, we can modify the elements mapping using the view editor. Table mapping is necessary when you're using a persistence model. A persistence model needs to include the mapping between the reference model and the table model. You can use Prima IBCS to create tables mapped to classes from the reference model. Let's create a table mapped to the class person. Later, if the needs change, you can modify the mapping using the table editor. So let's discuss how Prima IBCS helps in reducing your development lifecycle and ongoing maintenance costs. The Prima IBCS MDA strategy enables the generation of assets for your heterogeneous environment. The template-based code generation utility in Prima IBCS uses the UML business reference model as the source of information when generating the application code for your IT environment. Thanks to the template configuration tooling, you can generate usable artifacts in any technology: Java, .NET, XML, COM area, etc. When using an MDA methodology and process, there are three critical phases of development. The functional phase, where business analysts modify IBCS based on the gathered requirements through gap analysis, customizing Prima IBCS if necessary to satisfy the business needs. The technical phase, using the code generation utility configured to generate the assets needed for the technical environment. For most applications, this will generate 50% of the code needed. And the next iteration phase, as once the generated assets are integrated into your environment, you have the ability to review your implemented requirements, make changes to the UML model, and start the next development iteration. So, by implementing an insurance data model, you become free from technology constraints and reduce the development efforts, ensuring consistency in business processes across the enterprise. Now, let's review how Prima IBCS is the answer for your organization. You have two major business challenges: lack of a communication between systems in the enterprise and lengthy development cycles. You've seen how by implementing the Prima IBCS data model, you can have a common data dictionary across the enterprise without regard for platform language or technology concerns. We've also seen that Prima IBCS provides the perfect layer to decouple the data structures from your applications, especially with applications using legacy data structures. Through this decoupling or wrapping of your legacy environment, you're reducing the number of point-to-point integrations, thus decreasing maintenance costs and ensuring system interoperability. Prima IBCS, your answer for today and tomorrow.